So we're going to take one more question before we wrap. And this is, we talked a little bit about this, but I guess we haven't talked about maybe some additional models. The question is about experiencing, can you share your experience with around good models, current or historical, of Black and Latino collaborations or partnerships? And are there any intentional examples of innovation? Does anyone have any examples of that, of partnerships in these communities?
In New York, around Stop and Frisk, there were several organizations, Make the Road New York, which is primarily a Latino organization, and SAS, Streetwise and Safe, which is still multiracial, but I would say more African American. There were really interesting collaborations, both LGBT and non-LGBT, and lots of communities of color around policing, stopping Stop and Frisk. United Communities for Police Reform, I want to say, is the name of the coalition. And I think that has been really interesting. And out of that came conversations about condoms as evidence and things that were impacting various communities differently. I think that is one that I could point to that we weren't a part of, but that we examined in our criminal justice work as sort of an interesting model. Because I think the data points to a very shared experience in some places. And again, I think it's when you come together in coalition, you say, we can work on this one little thing. And I think in LGBT community around immigration, I think that's another great example, because you have folks coming, African-American or Black communities coming from Africa, for example, LGBT folks fleeing that kind of violence, and then folks coming from Latin America, Guatemala, and so forth, and ending up in immigration detention. And I think that's another place where organizations should be working together.
Anything else that anyone wants to add before we wrap? All right. Well, this is just, again, really a way to begin these conversations. We do need to have these conversations, and then we need to move towards some action. And so I hope that we can all continue talking to each other. And I want to thank all of our panelists. Please help me.
Good job. Good job. Good job.